Welcome back to another episode of Trash Talk. I'm Jon-Bernard. This is Nick. We are the K-Roos brothers, bringing you the fight news around the world. Very special guest on today, fresh off another UFC win. We've got Navajo Sterling, Navajo 7-0. Back to New Zealand after a long flight. How's the body feeling? I mean, you've been 2 weeks now. How you holding up?
No, everything's good, bro. Like, I'm back in the gym, just like moving around. Probably be full live starting this weekend, maybe next week.
How do you go home? Do you have to go Montreal, New York, Auckland, or what's the flight home?
Yeah, so I went from Montreal to LA. Usually go LA or San Fran or something, and then back home.
Mate, you're all business. You went straight from New Zealand straight to Montreal, then straight into the octagon. You didn't like get there for a week before and try and get climatized. You went straight into the octagon and then you went straight home. You just all business, no pleasure?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a homebody, bro. I just like coming straight home. I'm not really there to see the sights, you know. I'm still on the come up, so it's just all business. And yeah, I think I come into that fight a little bit longer than I usually do. I think in my last fight, I got there like a Tuesday night fight week. I was cutting weight on the plane, and yeah, but that one I was like, I better go a little bit earlier.
Yeah. Plain food's easy to cut weight on.
You were only there for a short period, but Montreal, look, I wasn't the biggest fan of it. I thought it was a bit lackluster. But did you go out at all, even after the fight, or even just maybe like the day of your flight, just to try and see it a bit? What do you think of Montreal?
Yeah, I was pretty much walking around that main city area. Like, I didn't really go out and explore the place. Like, yeah, I'm there for business. I pretty much just went for a feed with Eugene and that's good enough for me, you know.
Yeah, no, it was great to see you in action. I mean, we saw you conduct yourself really professionally. You did the whole media day. You had your team there with you. You're obviously setting the tone for what you want your future UFC career to be. Right after the fight, you said, look, it wasn't the fight you were expecting and you had to adapt. What did you learn from that fight, do you think?
Man, I got it, you know, that I'm there and I'm meant to be there. And yeah, like I definitely figured out that my grappling was like better than his. I just felt stronger there. And I wish I wanted to, like, you know, start entering in on some takedowns, but I was like, man, everyone's just having I have too much fun on the feet, and then everyone else, you know, the crowd loves it. So I just like try to put on for the crowd, really.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. We had money on you, Navajo. We backed you, and I got a bit nervous in round one because he tagged you with some shots, and then you were plucking at your eye. I think maybe his eye's damaged. What was going through your mind in round one when he kind of caught you with some shots that you probably weren't expecting?
Yeah, I mean, I knew that he had like a good right hand left hook, and it wasn't as if it was like the most powerful punch I've ever fought, but he was very sharp with it, and it come at me quick, and I blinked on that left hook, and I was bloody seeing like two of them. My eye was blurry on my right arm, I was trying to like wipe it and get it, like I was trying to like make sure I could see the guy, you know, because like the speed on that left hook was solid. But yeah, I mean, when I got hit, I was like, oh, well, you talked it up, bro. So you can't fold now.
I wanna ask in the third round. You knocked him down. I thought the ref was going to call it. It looked like you had probably gotten the finish, but the ref just decided not to call it and was waiting for you to maybe go a bit more. Were you surprised that the ref didn't call the stop to the fight?
Yeah, a little bit. After watching it back, I thought he was doing all the right things to like intelligently defend, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I thought he was like way out, you know, and especially when I dropped him the second time. And I went for the hammer fist on the side of the ear. I thought he was done there. That's where I thought he was like really gone. And then, yeah, I mean, I was kind of tired. I looking at the ref like, come on, bro. Jump in, bro, so I can get a breather. And then, yeah, I don't know. I just was sloppy after that. I was just so gassed.
Well, that brings your record now to 7-0. Yeah, it's 2 UFC wins, a Dana White Contender Series win. Yeah. And everyone has to ask, what's next for you now? You said you want to be really active. Do you eye anyone in the division that you want next?
Just whoever's on the smoke, really, yeah. Like, whoever's like the hot the hot shit, you know. I want the hot shit, like whoever that is. Obviously, I'm just the young rookie that's just got there. So, you know, I don't mind working my way up, but I'm like, I think they've seen me, that these light heavyweights, they've seen me in person and they're like, shit, this guy's fucking huge, you know.
That was
You
my
know,
reaction.
but he like looks confident, you know, and like I have no enemies or whatever, you know. I just for me, it's just a battle with myself. I wanna see who's got it, you know. People say like, you know, I've seen the conversations like, fuck, this guy's he will never make top 15. He'll never be this. He'll never make the UFC. I mean, I've heard it all before. It's like, bro, I'm waiting for the guy to put it on me. That guy on paper should have smoked me. You know, he was number one KSW, 10 first round knockouts, the bee's knees. You know, he'd fought in the bear's head, split decision, lost to a UFC veteran, Kutalaba, and I only, you know, had a unanimous decision win against a pleb, you know, on my debut. So on paper, this guy should have ran through me, and he didn't, you know. And man, I'm like, okay, well, who's next? Who's the next best guy? Because I just that's all I want, and I haven't really seen anyone really take off in the light heavyweight division. It's like they have some good wins, some losses, and yeah, I'm looking for the guys in the big smoke right now. They're all kind of going into the top 15 now, so I'm just trying to play catch up.
I love the confidence. And I mean, you went straight from a UFC win back home into the gym. You literally went straight back to city kickboxing.
Yeah.
Did you get straight back to work? And it's like, what did you take away from that fight that you went straight back to work to?
Oh, bro, I got that whiteboard up there behind me. I just try to jot down all the things that I need to work on. Just some good takeaways and some bad takeaways, and I just need those fresh in my mind. So when all the coaches are around, I can kind of just quickly go over them and just kind of smoothing out the rough edges in every fight. And yeah, that's what it's about. Like, I try to do it straight away, so it's like, you know, still fresh in my mind on what I wanted to improve.
Mm-hmm. How is your fight recall? Because I know in some sports, like LeBron, he recalls every play from a basketball game. Now, you are copping head knocks, but how's your fight recall after the fight? Do you remember every second of the fight?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I remember every second. I try to really dial down on like those moments where I felt vulnerable, just to basically get rid of that moment, you know, that feeling, like, so that when it presents itself again, I'm well prepared with like many options. I've just done that my whole career because I've always had low experience. Like, I've gone into so many fights with the least amount of experience, and I had to like pull it off somehow, and I always do. And I just equate that to like, I know how to get the most out of every fight, you know. Like, even though might not get these first round knockouts, I'm displaying my skill set, and then the guys that are really watching what I'm doing, they know that I'm like good, because they're like, oh, this guy's not just a pure specimen. We're just seeing like an athletic display. Like, he's actually, if you look at the skills and everything he's doing, he's actually breaking these guys down and making the most out of these fights.
Let me ask you, you said you wanted to remain active. I think you fought 4 times in the last 7 months, very active. How active do you want to be this year, and could we see at UFC Perth coming up in September?
Yeah, well, that's where I put my hand up. It was around then. That's ideally, I would love to be there, because that'll make it easier for some of the Kiwi supporters to come over and watch, and obviously all the Aussie fan base as well. I would like to grow my name there. I've never been to Perth as well, so it would just be sick for me to go. And
I mean, hey, you're not missing out on much, don't worry.
It'll just be mad. Like, I think now that JDM and Volk are champions as well, like, they could really like punch in hard on that card. But I don't know what they want to do.
I want to ask is, Volk always wanted to be active. JDM just won the champ. He says he wants to be very active as well. You say you want to be active. What do you think makes these Aussie and NZ fighters wanting to be so active? Are we just cut from a different cloth?
Yeah, bro. Like we're just scrappers, like some of these, other fighters, man, they're divas, bro. Like you'd be surprised, like at the highest level, like how many like divas there are, like. It's like, bro, just shut up and fight, like, I don't know, like, I've just heard stories, like, I've only obviously trained out of New Zealand. I don't know any coaches or gyms, but you just hear stories about, like, oh, yeah, this guy barely trains, he only wants to fight under this or that, and, oh, he's having a sulk about this hotel or something like that, like, you hear about it all the time, bro, it's like, man, do you want to be a fighter, like, I know I want to be a fighter. I'd fight every bloody weekend if my body would let me, but
that's the mindset.
We can't.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, like in saying that, do you find that, I don't know, maybe it's this day and age in the UFC now, it's like there's prospects and people are just being less active. Champions are fighting less. It's like we're seeing a lot less fights or big fights.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. And that's why I feel like I can just come through and like swoop that right up, I can swoop up the hype. I'll stay ready year round to take. I want to be that guy that they can call on a short notice as well. That'd be sick. And
that's what you want.
Yeah, like what else? Like, yeah, I don't know. It's just the way it is.
Now there's a prospect curse that's happening this year in the UFC, or even in the last 2 years. I mean, you're an up and coming prospect. There's a lot of eyes on you. But if you look at like Shara the Bullet, he had a lot of hype behind him. Then Bo Nickel, who talked a really big game, and then obviously just got knocked out by RDR. Do you have to worry about how much pressure you put on yourself, and are you worried at all about this prospect curse in the UFC?
Prospect curse, like I'm not a very superstitious person, bro. Like I know I can throw down with anyone on the planet, So like I know I can wrestle my ass off as well. Like I'm invited, I said in the interviews, I was like, bro, everyone just thinks I can't wrestle. I'm a striker. Like that's all I've been doing is wrestling. Like I'm comfortable in any position that the fight takes with anyone. I've seen the highest level of striking and on grappling and in the light heavyweight. Like obviously I'd help Israel train for Pereira, who's dominating the division. I had to like watch him and watch the way he'd fight, and my coaches would break him down with me, like for him for Israel with me. They would break it down and tell me what Israel did right and stuff. And like I've had my eyes on the top, and I've obviously sparred with Israel, and we spar all the time, and he knows like how good I am. All it is really is just the mindset for the big moment. Like the skills are there, but it's just the inexperience in those big time moments. So it's just getting for me, it was all about putting my mind in it early. Like when I do all these UFC obligations as a prelim fighter, I'm like, this is easy work because this is nowhere near what the champion goes through. So I just invite all the pressure and eat that up because I'm like, well, the championship level is going to be way different. So this is nothing, Like that's how I try to tell myself, to get ready for that big time. But yeah, as far as my skill set goes, like I'm there. It's just roughing out the rough edges, like smoothing out the rough edges in my game each fight.
Mm-hmm. You talk about your experience, and like you said, you've sparred with Izzy, you've sparred with all these big name fighters. But how much more experience do you gain from actually fighting in the octagon on the UFC weekend, whether you had it in Montreal, whether it be in Tampa? How much more experience is it, and why is sparring so much less than the actual fight?
Yeah, you gain so much like level, like you just get so much better from fighting. Like you can get good in the gym, but something about just fighting often, it's like turning the car on, you just drive off, you like don't even think about it. That's the feeling I'm like chasing, is for that to make that walk so many times that it just feels normal. And then once that part comes to me, man, it's like gonna be like look out, because I'm just gonna end up rolling everyone. 'Cause
Realistically,
I don't get hit that much either. Like I could probably count on my hand how many times I've been hit in my whole career. Like it's just embedded in me not to get hit, and I took some good ones on that fight, but I ate that. I ate that up. So like I'm ready to just keep scrapping.
realistically, how far off do you think you are from these big ranked fights and, kind of where like Carlos Ulberg is right now in the division?
Yeah.
How many fights off do you think you are and where you at in your career now?
Like I always thought it was like be like a couple years, maybe just fight 4 times a year for like next 2 to 3 years. And then like, this is like how I thought most of the ranked guys were. And then I was like looking at like the light heavyweight fighters that are ranked. These guys only had like 3 or 4 fights in the UFC. I'm like, what the hell? Like, why did I think that he was there? Like he'd had heaps of fights, but you'd like look it over and they might have had 2 fights from 2020, 1 fight in 2021, 2 fights in 2022, 1 fight 2023, and then they're getting ready for the next fight and they're on like fighting for number 5 and 6 in the rankings. When really that's only been like 5 fights. I'm like, bro, I'll smash out like 8 in the next 2 years, like. So when I think about it, I'm like, man, I am going to get pushed real quick because I know I'm going to be scrapping and I know I look after my body. Pretty much what I said to myself was, okay, well, let's just go all in on making sure we don't get injured. Just keep your body like ready and available. Don't go too hard to where you're gonna like sacrifice a knee in training or blow your back out or something. So my whole thing in training is injury prevention. I'm making sure that the physios are like figuring out when my body's turned off. So we're just trying to get it activated, and then I just try to attack that and use my youth, and that was smart because I've been doing that since last year, and I feel like I really honed in on looking after myself, and that's what's been able to keep me in the gym is and being ready to fight was just staying on the mats, and not staying in shape, staying on the mats, and being ready to scrap at any time.
That's awesome. And you say you keep your body in tip-top shape. You probably got the best rig in the UFC. We saw it in person. You're absolutely jacked going into UFC 315. I want to get your thoughts. Who do you think is the most ripped in the UFC? Who's got the best rig in the UFC?
Oh, I don't know. To be honest, some people might say me, but I don't know. I don't know if this might be zesty as well.
No, Diddy.
No, Diddy.
Looking at some of the other guys. I don't know. I don't really.
You can go the female round as well if you like.
I've got a bit of a list. I got you up there for sure. I reckon Michael Chandler always stays in pretty tip-top shape.
Yeah.
You got Kayla Harrison, honorable mention. And I think...
yeah, man. She's built like John Cena.
Yeah, she's jacked. She's jacked.
Yeah.
And then I think up there is
Paulo Costa.
Paulo Costa and Joaquin Buckley.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty decent list.
Yeah. I think like some people like mine because of like like you've got like obviously Chandler, but he's like a more on the shorter side.
True.
But
true.
mine's like a bit rangy and lengthy, I guess. Like long limbs. Like it just helps for actually fighting.
People are a sucker for height.
I reckon. You said that you weren't always like that. Now that with age and as you're slowly getting towards your 30s, you're starting to fill out a bit more. Is that the plan? Is that the plan to get bigger and potentially having a cut down?
Yeah, well, I think like every year I'm getting better at cutting weight, and then I'm naturally like putting more size on. I think I noticed my body started growing larger when I was like 24, 25, and I started wrestling. Like when I started wrestling, like when I was kickboxing, I had like a real baby face because my neck was like real skinny. And then all of a sudden, once I started like wrestling hard out at the gym, my neck started getting real fatter. And then, I noticed like I started to look a little bit more older and denser in the face. And then, like it's just like all the weight training that I started doing, like proper weight training past couple of years, starting to help as well. So I think it's just like a mix of everything, like coming all in at once, and obviously getting older, like that muscle maturity, and yeah, it's just all starting to come in. But I reckon, yeah, by the time I hit 30, that's probably when I'll be like in my physical prime. But yeah, I was just kind of I don't really try to rely on my athleticism. I try to rely on my skills.
Your kickboxing IQ, and just your IQ in general in the ring and the cage. But I want to ask you, because you fought at UFC Montreal, and then you went out into the crowd and you watched the main event, JDM versus Bilal. What was the difference of being down there, obviously in the cage, and then being in the crowd? What was the crowd like?
Yeah, I checked the beanie on, so I was in incognito mode, and a few people gave me like the double takes, you know, they do the other this one, and like, they look at you like that, just walking through the crowd, and then just to get to my seat, and then like a few guys like, a couple guys like wouldn't leave me alone, you know, like just wasted as, and I was just trying to hide originally, but then once everyone kind of settled in and took their photos, they were pretty good. They left me alone, and it was mad to watch the fight from where we had good seats, and it was cool to see Jack get it done, and just like the atmosphere is mad. Like I'm just looking around, just in shock, you know. Like I can't believe I was just fighting it. You know?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I mean, you picked JDM to win beforehand when we asked you for your prediction. He ended up getting it done. Now he's got a big challenge in his first title defense against Islam. That's been confirmed. Do you think he has what it takes to beat an Islam Makhachev in his first defense?
Oh, mate, honestly, I think that fight's going to be easier than everyone thinks it is. I think JDM runs to him, mate.
Wow.
I think he chins him so bad that it's going to be so bad that the Topuria Islam thing will just be gone. The hype will be gone, because they'll be like, well, we just watched them get chinned. Like, I don't know. I'm not. People are going to say it's a wild take, but I reckon JDM smokes Islam. Like.
Why do you have that take? Why do you think? You think Islam's wrestling won't be a threat to JDM just because he's a lot bigger?
Yeah, he's a lot bigger, and like some of these guys, you know, they put that pressure behind the wrestling, and then they get in between. They get to that. They're back against the cage, and then they drop levels. But I don't know, when you watch JDM, like you put him on the end of mid-range, he's just going to throw. Like he's just going to throw loads of combinations. The fact that he like switches back into southpaw, like while punching and then even going forward, that's hard to like shoot in on, you know, like to dive in on, and he's not going to be able to just like abuse his size against them either. So, man, I think Islam's in for a rude awakening, and I honestly think JDM's going to run from, mate. I can't wait. Honestly, I'm like, man, I hope they fight in Perth.
That's my thing. Too. My thing though is the massive size advantage that JDM has. Like Islam is considered a weight bully to lightweights, but if he does go up and he's versing someone like Jack, who's already cutting to welterweight, is it really that big of a difference though? Because people always think like you could just jump up between ranges like they do in boxing, but in the UFC, is it that big of a step up going from one division to another?
Yeah, I think. 155 to 170 is a little bit different, eh? Those 170s are solid, bro. They're big, man. They look like light heavies, you know, out of camp. Like, I don't know. I just think JDM's just going to make that fight easier than anticipated.
Because even when someone like Izzy went up to light heavyweight, and he kind of struggled a bit with that kind of size advantage as well that Jan had. Is that going to be the same thing as well? Like even someone as good as Izzy struggled, even someone as good as Islam's now going to struggle as well?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe he might feel a little bit better not having to cut that much weight. I don't know.
Both ways,
might make him stronger as well. Because like some of those Dagestani boys look like they cut a lot of weight. Like they look like they go through it, you know, to get to that 155. So I don't know. But Jack doesn't look like he has a hard time making weight either. So it could be like end up looking even in size. I don't know, but I don't think there's going to be much of a difference with like weight advantages coming into play.
Now, Navo, Izzy gave you a lot of praise at one point and named you as one of the next generation of Anzac fighters that's going to be putting it on in the UFC. Is that do you want that from Izzy? Do you welcome that pressure of being the next gen of as a New Zealand fighter in the UFC?
Yeah. I mean, I tell myself that. And even before he was saying that, I was saying that to myself and to everyone coming up. And I've just led by example here in New Zealand that everyone looks up to me here. And I feel like I have like a responsibility now to, like, I owe it to the people to not let them down. And yeah, I feel like because in New Zealand, like in our culture, it's like we always want to like just slip under the radar. Like we want to do our part and go home and, and just get our soft congratulations. But I'm sick of that, bro. I'm sick of that way of living, and I'm sick of the old Kiwi mindset of, we don't mind being sick and best, like I'm sick of it, bro. I'm over there. And I just said to myself, like, I want to do it for all the people that felt the way like I felt growing up. Like, oh man, shoulda, coulda, woulda, I hate that. And I'm just like, nah, man, we need someone to just be like, to grab it by the reins and just be like, oh, look at me, like this is New Zealand. Like this is our champion. Like he went out there and did that. He smashed it. He said he was going to smash these dudes, and he went out there and smashed them despite getting all their critique and all that. And when you put yourself in the limelight of like to be great or to be one of the best ever, people is going to piss so many people off. You can't do it. There's no way he makes top 15. Pereira will smoke him. He'll chin him. Like, so that's when you're doing the right thing. I think so. Anyways,
big dreams, big aspirations. You got that the All Blacks mentality, and that's mad to hear.
Yeah.
I want to talk about now your division, but the light heavyweight division. Champion right now is Big Ankalaev. Do you like his antics? He's kind of a different fighter in the octagon than on Twitter. Do you kind of agree with what he's doing and how he's gotten himself to the title?
Yeah. In what way? The way he's fought, or the way he's
like more so like his persona on Twitter versus his persona in real life. They're kind of a bit different. How do you think he's running his Twitter account?
Yeah, I don't even know. Like, I can't take the guy serious. After that call out with Pereira, I was like, mate, this guy is a brick. It's just, he's just like I don't know. I just can't take the guy serious. So.
Do you think Pereira's
he's a good fighter, but yeah.
Do you think Pereira's next in line? Because I feel like Yuri's been offered the fight against him potentially in Abu Dhabi. He said no, he had some exams on or something like that. Then Pereira was
What's
offered.
That about, eh?
I don't know what happened there.
Exams? I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Exams? You just turned down a world title fight. This is what you've been asking for. Like, that blew my mind, bro.
Well, the thing is, I didn't think it was real. I thought it was like MMA Central, and it was like a fake thing. But I looked into it, and it was like, he said he wants to really focus on his exam. I'm like, this is a world title opportunity we're talking about.
Well, the thing is, it's like, if Pereira does win in a rematch, he's not going to get a rematch against Alex Pereira now. So really, against Ankalaev was kind of his only shot for a while to get a title shot. So it doesn't make sense. Like, surely you can do the exams next year.
Yeah. What do you think of all that? And who do you think's next in line? I think Pereira gets a rematch, but where do you see the division sitting right now?
Oh, bro, I just I kind of feel for the big Ank. Like, man, we want to fight. Like, and everyone's saying no. Just doesn't make sense to me. Like, I just question like the result. And man, like if that was me, I'd put my hand up, ready or not. I'd be like, oh, bro, I'm definitely jumping in. But yeah, I don't know where the light heavyweight division is going right now. It's a little stagnant in that top 5-ish area. Like, don't know what's going to happen. They might have to do another sort of Khalil Roundtree moment and start like going all the way down to 7, 8, 9 for a title fight. Maybe, I don't know what they do.
Do you think Carlos Ulberg could put his hand up and maybe he's next in line?
Yeah. I mean, he just had surgery on his elbow, I think. So I'm not too sure. I think it's like a quick turnaround. Like it's not like a long recovery. But yeah, I'm not too sure what's going on, to be honest, or even if he's been offered. Yeah.
Speaking about surgeries, now Dan Hooker's recovering from a surgery, but he's been hosting these warehouse fights in Auckland. And these things are going absolutely crazy on social media. It's 30 guys in a warehouse doing a tournament, and Dan Hooker just commentating these fights. Have you ever been to these warehouse fights? What's it like in there?
No. Well, I just talked to him today about it. He's got his other one that he's running in New Zealand, and he's getting like a whole bunch of guys that like aren't actually fighters. You know, they're just big scary dudes. And I was like, bro, you know, like some of these guys, because they're not fighters, they think they can fight. They're not going to, these guys are going to sack it as soon as they get there. Because like people talk about it, but this is where like they realize it gets real, is the anticipation the night before. Like, okay, we're meeting here. This is the day you fight. This is, you know, that anticipation for people that don't fight is insane to them. They've never ever, and when they figure out that it's, when they see the lights and cameras come on and they see a whole bunch of scary looking dudes and they realize like, oh shit, this is about to go on YouTube in front of millions of people. Like everyone wants to see this. They are going to shit their pants, bro. They're not even going to like, they're not even going to step in there, you know, like that's what I think. Even like they're all big scary dudes. Like from what he's told me, they're like, he's got face tattoos galore rolling up, you know,
It's like proper Kimbo Slice backyard.
Yeah, it's
brawls.
like full on. And yeah, I was like, you know, I didn't even ask for an invite because I don't want to be there. Shit turns sideways, you know. I was like a little worried, but you know, Dan Hooker's like, he's a crazy man. He's like a madman. He's like the MMA Joker or something. I don't know.
Yeah. So you're saying they're going to need a lot of backup fighters because you think a lot of people might shit themselves.
Yeah, I 100% believe there's going to be dudes that'll just be like, oh, actually, I don't want to fight now, you know? And then there'll be like random pullouts or dudes not show up. 100%. It's 100%.
Like never back down in real life.
No, it's just like there's a cash prize and Dan Hooker's there on commentary. It's actually like, this is what Power Slap should be. It's getting a lot of views online. It's actually crazy. You New Zealanders are crazy. I don't think this would be allowed in Australia.
Bro, I don't even know if that's allowed. He's just doing it anyways. I was like,
do it till someone says no.
Sounds sketchy as, but man, I think what makes it a little bit more legit was the fact that he pulled off like one in Thailand. Okay. But because he's got like non-fighters pulling up, it's like it might be crazy. It might look funny as well because like dudes that have never thrown punches a day in their life start swinging. You know, they're going to be like closing their eyes and throwing like crazy sissy punches. Might look horrendous. You know, like.
Yeah.
But at least Dan will be there to like laugh and comment all over it. You know,
for sure,
this would be funny.
Well, I have an ambulance on standby. I'll be watching the next one. I want to get your thoughts on the International Fight Week co-main event, Kai Kara France versus Pantoja. I'm sure a lot of New Zealand's getting behind Kai Kara France. He just announced he's going to be getting over there. How do you think that fight goes? And obviously you're backing Kai Kara? Yeah,
definitely backing Kai. I mean, he was training same times as me, like since like the beginning of the year, just going hard, like waiting for that date. We kind of knew he was going to be next up. But yeah, he's been training for a while, and man, he hits so damn hard, bro. Like, I actually went back and watched that 2-rounder he had with Pantoja back on Ultimate Fighter. Man, that was a banger fight. And yeah, that was like one where he's like, man, you wanted to see an extra round on that because. Yeah, it was pretty back and forth for those 2 rounds. Pantoja, you know, he's going to shoot. He's going to try and shoot. So it's like you got like one of the best grapplers against like the guy with the best takedown defense and the heaviest hands. Like, yeah, it's a good one. Like, I don't think we've seen Pantoja get chinned either. So
yeah,
man, it'll be a good technical matchup as well. But you know, I'm gonna take Kai all the way.
Hopefully that's another belt to the region. That'd be crazy. But I'm almost back to back pay-per-views. Yeah, it'd be insane.
That'll be insane. we need to get our rep back for CKB. You know, it was like we come off and then everyone was saying we're all done, but we're just getting started again, you know. So that's how I feel, anyways.
And I want to finish on this one. You've shown some love to MMA Guru. He appeared in the story the other day while you're on stream. He even shouted you out during his stream recently. He gets a lot of flack from maybe some fighters, but he was just on Mighty Mouse's podcast. It was actually not a bad. I'm a fan of some of his content. What are your thoughts on MMA Guru in the MMA scene?
Yeah, I see. He's like, obviously not everyone likes him, pisses him off and whatever. Oh, like they get pissed off with him, but I mean, it's like, man, I don't really take offense to a lot of stuff myself. It's the internet, you know. The internet wins always. It's undefeated. So yeah, I've watched some of his stuff, man. I just all out my tears laughing, you know. Like
Yeah, he's funny.
I can't help it, you know. Like I shouldn't laugh at some of the stuff he says, but it's gold, and yeah, he's just a crack up. I reckon he's a crack up, and you know he's doing his job, like making fun of people doing like these breakdowns, and you know we're all fans of like each a different fighter as well. So he's gonna pick it like who he obviously wants to win. Like, but the one where he was commenting on like JDM and Bilal. It had me in tears, when he was talking about the M&Ms.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't think that's Ian's son.
That
killed me, bro. That killed me.
He had a good Aussie accent. Like, he actually executed the Australian accent very well. I don't know if it's because he's British, but he did a very good job.
Yeah, those impressions he's got are funny, man. That one that he did of Moreno had me dying. I was like, on Mighty Mouse's podcast, it was crack up. But
Yeah, no, I find him very entertaining too. That was actually the question we asked about the M&Ms at the press conference.
Yeah.
So I even was laughing during his stream when he was doing the impression of JDM as well. But no, I think he brings a lot of entertainment to the space. It's nice to see like fighters that don't take themselves so seriously get a kick out of the entertainment. Do you think he's like his entertainment perspective is like a good thing for MMA? I feel like he brings a lot of fans to the sport.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I like what he said. He's like, I just make it fun for myself, you know, like the way I kind of conduct it, which is true. Like, I mean, I'm on like TikTok, Instagram. Some of the comments you see on my stuff as well, like people make fun of me and stuff. It is what it is, you know. Like, you put yourself. It's just the internet, I guess. Like,
100%.
You just got to get used to it, especially if you aren't like hard, like you don't have a thick shield coming into MMA, man. It's just brutal. I'm seeing the most brutal memes, and you see it all the time. You just gotta have thick skin, I guess. It is what it is. But that's what I mean. Like, there's so many bloody divas and suki-lalas these days. It's like far out.
It's true. You got to have thick skin. These MMA fan base is probably the toughest in the world.
And I mean, to his credit, he's quite knowledgeable. He does know his stuff.
Yeah, he does.
Like, when you hear him break down certain fights or certain game plans, I'm like, you know what? He's actually much more knowledgeable than I am, and probably near a fighter in terms of his breakdowns of fights and strategy.
Oh yeah, like I've got a mate here in New Zealand. He's like kind of like a lower level, well, not lower level. He's like on the come up, sort of like MMA Guru kind of streamer guy. His name's BetSlam with Sam. And so shout out to him. And then, yeah, like these guys, like I've talked to them, these guys literally watch every single UFC. They don't miss a beat. They do the breakdown. They go behind the scenes and they watch all his fights, his documentaries, what he's about. Like, they really like sink their fingertips into these fighters' lives and try to figure out who they are. So they know more about fighting than I do. And then when it comes to picking fights, because I just do it on a vague scale, you know. I'm like, oh yeah, this guy's got good kicks, like this guy's got good hands, like, this guy's gonna be him, and then and then he gets smoked, and I never knew that. But the other, and then like, you know, my bro, Sam, he'll just be like, oh yeah, I've been watching like him on this, and he'll break him down, and he'll give me like a wild take for me, like I'll be like, oh, I don't know about that, and then they'll come through exactly the way he told me, and I'm like, That's why I realize some of these guys that are, and even though they've never, he even says it, like, I've never had fights or anything like that, but man, they go off the percentages. They're on the UFC website looking at the significant strikes landed. Like, I just try to hit the guy, you know? I just try to hit someone and hurt them.
They're breaking it down more than you, Gene.
Yeah, they're bringing out the stats and everything. Like, so sometimes, I get my opinion off of him as well. And I think that's what like Guru does, obviously, and like he lives and breathes this stuff. So, he knows what he's talking about.
You got to get Bet Sam into the next camp, but Nava, I want to thank you for your time. I really appreciate your time jumping on, and I'm looking forward to covering a lot more of your fights into the future, and hopefully we can see on that UFC Perth card when it's time to come around. And wish you all the best. Let the guys tune into the interview know where they can find you. I know you're on Instagram, Navajo Sterling.
Yeah, just my name, Navajo Sterling. Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube. Man, everything. I'm on everything, I think.
There you go, brother. Thank you. Appreciate your time, and I'm sure I'll catch you down the road pretty soon.
Yeah, brother. Appreciate it.
Till the next one.
Thanks for having me.